There's a question here from Christopher on Facebook. He says, what is your take on the gas attack? It seems like it would make little sense for him to do it, as it would naturally draw the U.S. further in, as it did. It's certainly difficult to discern the truth of the matter. What's your take on that, Jim?
I think that's really an excellent question. And in fact, you know, the director, Oliver Stone, I don't think he's an expert on chemical weapons, but he basically made that point today on Twitter and said, you know, how on earth would this benefit Assad to do this? You know, Ben, it's interesting. I went back, I was reading the writings of Winston Churchill, the former British Prime Minister, who was lionized for his role as on the side of the Allies in World War II. And Churchill was an early advocate of the use of what they called gas weapons, the precursor to what we now call chemical weapons.
Right.
And if you read what Churchill said about using them against unruly or uncivilized tribes in North Africa and elsewhere, the point of it was not that it was the most effective way to kill people. It was viewed as a strategically ominous message to send to an enemy of what you could do because of the nature of the weapons. And my colleague Murtaza Hussain at The Intercept sort of made this point last week and said, you know, it's not just about military efficacy here. It also can be part of a psychological campaign. So I wouldn't go so far in the direction of saying, why would Assad do this? You know, it doesn't benefit him. You could look at it from a flip side and say, Assad was concerned that Trump and the United States and Russia were building this alliance in Syria, and that close relationship could result in the Russians and the United States agreeing on a successor for Assad, and Assad basically losing favor with the Russians. So there's a way in which this drove a wedge between the United States and Russia, because Russia says it was a false flag operation. They say the United States is lying. Trump launched 59 cruise missiles and said this was like one of the worst things he's ever seen in his life, which is, I mean, take that for what it is. But I do think that there is a clear way that Assad would benefit from this if his main goal is to maintain power. I will say that there are some provocative dissenters on the other side who are saying, like, this professor emeritus from MIT, Theodore Postal, wrote what I think is a very interesting analysis, and his conclusion is that he doesn't believe that this was a sarin gas attack. But I think, and a lot of people are sort of saying, why isn't The Intercept, agreeing with this conclusion? It's not that we're saying, oh, that guy is wrong. He certainly knows more than I do about it. It's that there are so many people on the other side and people that don't have a political agenda,
right,
that are saying, no, it's pretty clear that this did happen. So, one of the projects I'm hoping we're going to start working at The Intercept is just to sort of explore the question of, if this was a chemical weapons attack, what would an actual independent investigation look like that could lead to an up or down, yes or no? Were munitions used? Was it a hit of a factory? What exactly happened here? I don't know that we'll ever resolve the issue unless we get dissenters from within the Syrian or Russian military where we would actually understand the command structure for what happened there. But I do think we can do a forensic investigation that would at least definitively conclude whether it was in fact an intentional use of these weapons.